Hello, happy third, or wait, it's only Wednesday. Happy hump day. How are you? Hey Mal, how is the World Ag Expo? Is that where you're at? I just saw a nice picture that you posted. Hey Slinks1, how are you? Where are you from? Tell me in the comments where you are from. I am broadcasting live from Parker, Colorado. Thank you for the hearts. Hey, hey. Hey Tony, good to see you in here. I love that you keep showing up. Yay, hey everybody. So today we're gonna talk about something that I think can absolutely be a game changer for you. You're home now, it was great. So you don't have the little yellow like Kia car anymore. That was so stinking cute. So this game changer thing that everybody should be doing if you truly want to be a leader, if you want to show up and do your epic shit, it's something that's really simple, right? It's something that anybody can do. It doesn't cost any money, right? It's something that you should do every single day. And what is it? Dun, 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 dun. Journal. Yes, so do you journal? Tap your screen if you journal at least once a week. At least once a week. Give me some love with your hearts. I love my journal. Today, I just wanted to jump on and talk about journaling because I had an amazing, amazing journaling session. Thank you, Katia711. I appreciate that. You have no idea how to start. Well, Tyler Jane, I'm going to give you some good ideas today. Yes, so today I want you, is a having book a journal? Well, I think so. It's a different kind of journal. And, you know, I was just actually thinking about this. Like, you could have a leadership journal, you could have a relationship journal, you could have a food journal, you could have an exercise journal, you could have a horseback riding journal, like training. If, you know, I'm a horse person, so that would be something cool for me. So yeah, I think that a calving book absolutely could be a journal, but I challenge you to say, okay, how can I move it outside of just cattle and think about myself? All right, so journaling, what are some things to help you get started? One of the things that I did today that I think helped me go way deeper than my normal journaling sessions is that I kind of created a ritual or some kind of a process that set the mood for me to journal. And so I got my little candle out. There was just something about fire. Hey Tara, good to see you hopping in here. Hey Reagan, I'm glad that you're here. So yeah, I lit a candle. Right, just that flame, that flicker, it felt good to have that. I also, hey Brett, I also grabbed some of my favorite essential oils. And today it was about grapefruit because it was bright. We had a really beautiful sunshiny day here today, and so I wanted more of that kind of just brightness and warmth around me. So I grabbed some of that and rubbed a little on my temple. Yeah. And then I went to YouTube because I had my computer that was sitting near me, and I pulled up some meditation music. And this is the thing that I have never done, right? You love your Young Living oils. Awesome, Tara. I am curious to know, like, what is the difference between all of them, right? Like, what's the difference between Young Living and, you know, what's the doTERRA, I think? I don't even know how to say it. Thank you, Brett. Positivity is where it's at, right? It's all about more love. It's all about more leadership. There's a lot of shit and crap in the world, and we don't need to spend any energy on that. It's about the stuff that we can do something with, right? But your journal can often be the time where you can reflect into the kind of, you know, the shadow part or the things that aren't as easy. And so I'll talk about that in just a second. Young Living is better because it's the only oil that can be digested because it's at its purest. Ooh, interesting. You know, my friend put some citrus in her water the other day with those, and I didn't know that you could consume oil that way. That was pretty neat. I'm definitely new to the game, but I love how they make me feel. So yeah, I set the tone with the candle, I had some essential oil, I had some great music that was happening, and then I just started to write. And I just went with the question of, what is it that I need to write about today? And I didn't really put any context around it, and then I just kind of let the words kind of flow out. But then the thing that I started to write about was my relationship with my husband. And then that moved on to, what does my inner critic tell me? And, you know, I'm a positive girl, right? You were just saying that you love the positivity. But then as I started to think about all of the things that my inner critic tells me, it was like, holy moly, I had a page and a half, almost 2 pages of stuff that came up. And I was like, what the fuck is that all about? Right? But the thing that is cool about that is that now I've acknowledged it. I'm not just trying to get the stiff upper lip and saying, you know, go away, inner critic, because that doesn't work, right? Your inner critic actually needs to be acknowledged. And you need to acknowledge that inner critic is just trying to keep you safe, but also acknowledge that the inner critic is wrong. right? So I wrote a lot about that. But you can have fun. You're doing everything right. You're a beautiful soul. Oh, you're so crazy. Yours is a crazy bitch. Yeah, my inner critic is definitely a little batshit crazy sometimes. But yeah, I've got to let her come out and, acknowledge her and say, all right, that was nice, but not serving me right now. I'm going to let you go. So you can write about that. But this is a really cool thing that you can do with your journaling session. You can say, all right, today my theme is going to be about music. And you could turn on the radio, and the first song that comes on is going to have a theme to it, right? It might be a love song. It might be a revenge song. It might be a, just happy, I love people song. I mean, it can be a lot of different things. And so you're going to just take whatever that record was that was on the radio at that point, come up with that theme, and then just start writing about whatever that is today. All right, that's kind of a fun way to do it. Another cool way that you could do a journal prompt is that you could send a friend a text message and say, hey, I need a journal prompt today. What do you think that I need to be writing on? Right? And see what they give you. Right? I was listening to a podcast the other day by Lola Medicine Woman Keeper or something. I don't know exactly all of her name, but she said that she asked her clients to send her little prompts, and she would write for 15 minutes around whatever that prompt was. And so she took that prompt and she set her timer and just wrote, and whatever flowed from her with that prompt that friend or that client had given her is what she was going to move with. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah, you could just ask your friend, hey, what should I write about today? You could also take the Native American medicine wheel approach and choose one of the 4 directions and write about one of those each day. So, for instance, you could write about the South. The South in the Native American medicine wheel represents the child within. And so maybe you're going to connect with something from your childhood. You get a pen in your hand, and I just never know where to start. It's just like a freeze. I am totally with you. How long do you recommend we journal every day? Tyler Jane, I set my alarm today for 15 minutes, but I think that even just 5 minutes is a great place to start. So I wouldn't just sit down and be like, oh my God, I've got to just now write for 30 minutes. I would say just try it on for 5. When the alarm goes off, if you feel like you want to do some more, then do some more. If you don't, that's fine. But it's just like going to the gym. It's just like eating right, like avoiding sugar or whatever you're trying to cut out from your diet. It's that daily choice. Do I want to do it or not? And I want everybody that's on the scope tonight to go out and just Google, say, benefits of journaling. And the things that you're going to read are going to blow your mind. And there's like scientific research around it. It's not just, here's what Sarah says, right? There's people all across the globe that talk about the power of journaling. So as I was journaling today, I was writing about my inner critic and writing about my relationship with my husband. I was writing about new ideas. And so I actually had 2 things that were going. I had my journal, and then I had this other little notepad. And on this other little notepad, I would jot down ideas that would pop up as I was writing. And so I had a couple of ideas that popped into my mind for activities that I could do with my next equine guided education workshop. Hey, from Parker. Parker is awesome. I love living in Parker. I had an idea. I was talking to my dad yesterday over the phone. He just returned from Mexico, and it was his first time ever traveling abroad or, internationally. And so, he was telling me about the fact that there's this poverty everywhere, and, he just didn't recognize that. You know that there's poverty around, but you just don't recognize that there's people that are living in the world with dirt floors and stuff. And so the first couple of days, he said it just really hit him in the core, like, holy moly, this is where I am right now. But he said as he was there, more days, that it became dull, right? It wasn't something that he had noticed. The kind of realness had faded away. And so I kind of was thinking as I'm writing about all of this stuff in my journal, I'm like, how many people deal with that kind of stuff in their daily lives? Like, animals are really important to me. And I was talking with I have a FabFeb online group coaching program going on right now. And yesterday I talked to them about seeing a bald eagle yesterday and some of the power that was around that. And I was thinking, there's a lot of people that would say, hey, nature's really important to me, and it's wise and it feels good when I'm outside. But we just get into that daily grind of going through the motions, right? And we don't, give ourselves the opportunity to be like, yeah, that is really important. That is reality. There probably is a message, from whatever I'm experiencing right then, right? So it becomes dull, you tune it out. And so by writing about it in your journal, perhaps, it brings that spotlight back on. So I'm going to give you a couple of more, oh, you were thinking about the same thing today? Ah, yay, I love that, Tyler. One of the things that I love to do is go to Twitter. Twitter's my favorite social media platform. I love Periscope though too. And if you need a journaling prompt, go and see what's trending, right? Today, there was something about what I would do with Trump's money. Hashtag what I would do with Trump's money. So maybe you use that for your journaling prompt. One of the ones that I'm gonna give my group tomorrow, so Mal, you're gonna see this in your video, is hashtag wanderlust. You know, what's something that you would want to do for an adventure, right? So you could see what's trending and see if anything pops up for you. Let's do a little blocking there for a second. There we go. So yeah, Twitter can be cool. We've talked about the radio. We've talked about the kind of medicine wheel. What's the child within? What would your elders say? I do have a blog. It's called The Lead Mare. You can actually get to it from my website, sarahjos.com, Sarah with an H, JOS.com. So go check that out for sure. You could just think about things that you love. Like I love to go camping and hiking, and I love leadership. And so today I might journal on leadership lessons learned while camping. And I actually did write a blog about that several years ago. So you could go check that out. So I want you to just, as you're thinking about what to journal about, just think about, okay, what were the big things that stood out for me yesterday? What were the things that resonated in your 4 core? How old am I? I'm 38. So not quite a millennial, a little bit older, but I love working with millennials. I feel like I have a lot of stuff to offer there. So yeah, if I want to sit down and journal, think about 4 things. Think about, how's my body feeling? What are some ways that I've listened to my intuition today? How did it feel when I was moving my body today? I did some yoga last night, and again, just did some YouTubing and found a 45-minute vinyasa yoga. And there were some handstand things that were going on that like totally blew my frickin' mind. I think it's beautiful that a woman like yourself takes the initiative to teach the youth. Ah, yes, well, thank you. It's my passion. It's what I was born to do, baby. Yes, yoga's amazing. But as I was doing this yoga, and she's like telling me to, like, crow was the one that I'd seen before and I tried and I'd been, kind of successful. But then she wanted to do like the sideways crow and like kicking your feet out. And it blew my mind. And my inner critic started popping up again and was like, oh my God, there's no way that you're going to be able to do that. That woman who's teaching you, she's way strong. She's been doing it for years. Oh my God. And so I might journal about those kind of, feelings that popped up to me. Why was I so quick to say I can't do it? Hey, new baby, good to see you. We're talking about journaling and like how do you get started? And so you can journal about a song, you can journal about yoga, you can journal about your elder wisdom, your child's wisdom, what are those ideas that you've been, kind of squashing down in your mind. You could talk about your relationships. That's one of my favorite things to write about. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, like with those relationships that are closest to you, it's harder for me to sometimes be nice, right? Because you've built up this relationship, this experience, and so I can be a little sharper with you, perhaps. And so, I write about that. And then after I write down all of the things that I'm frustrated about, I look at that and say, okay, what were the big ahas for me? And what is the lesson here that I can really apply to my life? Because it's really easy to point the finger around, but once I like poured my heart out onto the page, I bled onto the page, it was easier to then kind of look at it from an objective point of view and say, all right, what is this really saying, Sarah? And then how can I move into that whole idea of so what, now what? Right? So I think relationships, absolutely, good, bad, or ugly, dive into those in your journal. And another thing that I think is important is that final area of your core, and that's your spirit. What are the things that help you get connected to spirit? When do you feel moved? When do you feel connected to something bigger than yourself? Right? So those are a couple of ideas for you. I also, acupuncture, we could journal about acupuncture. I like that. What would we want to say about it? Right? Thank you for sharing, new baby. That's super sweet. You guys are giving me hearts. You're sharing the love. So I'm curious. We've got 14, 13 people in here. What do you journal about? Let's give some ideas. Let's brainstorm what works for you to do your journaling. I would love, love, love to hear. One of the things that I love is that I can journal about things that my kids tell me. Oh, you meditate during acupuncture. Yeah. I love that. Meditating is something that is hard for me. Like Tyler Jane was saying, how long do you start for? That's another one, like 5 minutes, and then build that muscle around. Oh, dreams. Oh, I missed who said that, but that is a really, really cool thing to write about. I had a crazy dream the other day about Grant Cardone. If you are not watching Grant Cardone, you definitely need to. You journal about things that make you mad, so I won't burst in hell yes. You won't burst in public. I think so. This is the safe place, right? You can put it out there. You're not being judged by anybody but yourself. So I think that's a really, really great practice. And then again, you can look at it and be like, okay, why am I getting so worked up? Because it's not a problem with everybody else in life. It's the problem probably with yourself that you got to figure out and be like, all right, what the hell? What do I need to do? So yes, thank you for the hearts. So what do you do? We've heard that we can do dreams, when you've had bad days. Oh, you guys are making me feel good with my ego and these nice comments. I'm just gonna look in my journal and see other things that I have brainstormed. That really big crazy dream. Oh, thank you. What would you want to say about that big crazy dream? What do you want your 80th birthday to be like? What's that legacy? What are the most important roles in your life? Right? As I think about the important roles in my life, I'm mama, I'm wife, I'm coach, I'm a singer. So, and I love to do that, but why? What connects me to singing? You could write about your favorite animals and what is it that, you see in yourself within that animal. You could even just say, okay, I'm going to do a 10-day series of picking a new animal every day. And you can say, okay, today is the butterfly. What do I want to, what do I see in myself that's represented in a butterfly? All right, tomorrow's the horse. The next day is going to be the lizard. The day after that's going to be a bunny. I mean, you could just have some fun with that. And so you could, even give yourself the opportunity to brainstorm or journal about, okay, here are, 30 things that I can see myself wanting to write about. And then you set the path, all right? The next day after you do that list, I'm going to go with the first thing that I saw. The second day, I'm going to, just keep ticking it off the list. And so it doesn't have to have a destination that you have to arrive at with journaling. And I think that that's one of the most important things to consider, is that it's not, okay, I'm at point A, and by the time that I'm done, I need to be at point B. You don't even have to finish your thoughts when you're writing in your journal, because again, it's not for anybody but yourself. If you're writing about something and another idea pops in and you want to follow it, kind of like, squirrel, oh, there's something shiny over there that now I'm thinking about and I want to write about, then you totally should just do that. And so it's not about getting somewhere, it's just about the process. It's about moving, it's about getting that pen to move across your page. And sometimes it can be fun just to move your page into doodle. What do you think of handwritten journals versus typing your journal entry? Ugh, I think that Tyler, Jane, you and I are like on the same freaking wave today, because I actually journaled a little bit about that. Because, I have a problem that in schools they're not teaching cursive anymore. And I was thinking about it because as I was writing, my hands started to cramp up. And I was like, dang, I think this would be harder if I wasn't doing cursive, because I'd have to be lifting my pen up all the time. And so I was like, I wonder what that's going to do to kids' ability to journal. Yeah, they do think alike. That's right. So I wonder about that. And I definitely love to journal on my page. And I think that a blog a lot for me is a journal, or the daily challenges that I do for my clients. And so I think that there's something in it with the typing, but there's a different kind of feel for me, something that's a little just deeper when I put an old-fashioned pen and paper together. So I don't think that there is a right or wrong. I think that if you're not sure what you like the best, then you should try both and not judge it until you've given it your good old college effort. So I don't know, what do you think, Tyler Jane? Do you think that it matters? I know a lot of people have some really cool journaling apps where you can even insert pictures and just do it right from your smartphone. And so I think that's a really cool idea. I'm not here to judge the process. I'm just here to say you should do it. Journaling is your BFF. If it's not, then do it. You think it might be good to disconnect from tech when journaling? Heck yeah. And I love to journal outside, and I don't like to take my laptop outside very, often. And so, this is something that can just slip in my purse, and whenever I'm feeling like it, I can pull it out. It'd be way easier to type, so it's a balance. Yeah, as my hand was crapping up and I still had a lot more to write, and I knew that I could do it faster on my keyboard today, that was my thought, right? So, yeah. I think you should just write. And I have a couple of different books that I've got going on. So I've showed you that I've got this journal, and this is my one. Hey guys, we're talking about the power of journaling. So what do you like to journal about? What are some of the prompts that you might be able to offer somebody else who's in here thinking about, I don't even know how to get started? So I've got that other one. I've got a couple of others. I love these because of the prints. They're all Pendleton. And so I've got different things written in the front. So this is my coaching and notes and journals. And so if I've got ideas about journaling for coaching in my business, I put them in here. I've got this one, and it's just random ideas for whatever. They are super cute. These are actually from Pendleton. I love them. The topic in here is writing, and writing in your journal, because it's all for you. It's just about getting the ideas out of your head, moving into action and saying, okay, am I going to be the complainer that just wonders, what am I supposed to do with it? Or am I going to try to move forward and process this information? Because when you do that, you give yourself that opportunity, that space. Some powerful shit can happen. So there you go. And then this one's just random journaling stuff. So there you go. I want you to journal. One of the things that I love to do is just also do keywords. And so I'll show you an example. Like I just kind of say, what are some of my keywords of the day? And so here you go. There's some of them. I love adding a cute little stickers when you write. I love stickers too. That's a really great idea. Or stamps, even getting, nice markers or pins. Again, that ritual really makes a difference. And so I talked earlier about, I like to light a candle, I like to get the essential oils out, I like to have some nice music on, or, sitting outside. So, any of that, stickers, colors, you got to do what works for you. Yeah, just to make it cute. I say, if it works for you, hell yes, do it. So you could do just keywords, choice, chance, celebrate, feedback, compass, people, impact, game changer, tipping point, shifts, experiences, enjoyment, play, curiousness, tuning in, action, values. So, I just was writing all of the words that are resonating for me right now in my life. That can be a journal, right? So there's no right or wrong. It's just about going in, doing it. What do you think? Powerful? There's no slowing down in this lifetime, baby. It's balls to the walls. It's epic shit all the way. If I'm going too fast, then I'm not for you. Yeah, Serenity, you love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, if you want to have some ideas on what to journal about, or you just want some new inspiration, I want you to go to my website, sarahjoes.com. Thank you, Tyler Jane. I appreciate that. And I have a free offer for you guys. I do an epic shit challenge. Tyler's been a part of the challenge before. Mal's been a part of the challenge. And I will send you a daily email that wants you to ponder something, to do an activity, to journal, to, go deeper within yourself, right? Because you could take a class on the 10 steps to, epicness, or how to become a leader, but at the end of the day, it's about an inside out thing. And so this epic shit challenge will test you to go a little bit deeper. It'll ask you to think, are you living the life that's yours, or your parents or your teachers or your elders, or somebody else's dream, and really just to show up bigger, because you were born to do awesomeness. And so it's a matter of, are you going to move into action or not? So you can sign up. It's free. It's 21 days. It's the epic shit challenge. Thanks for that shout out, Tyler Jane. And yeah, it's something that you can start tomorrow. And your journal is definitely going to be a big, big part of that. First non-high scope in Colorado tonight. Congrats. Hey, Colby. I'm glad that you found one. There's a lot of us here in Colorado. And so I'm glad that you found a good one. I'm glad that you guys are showing up and learning and, spending your time on Periscope, trying to, up level a little bit. It's not just about watching people be wacky. It's about love and leadership. It's about doing your epic shit. And yeah, I love it. You and your mom go through journals like crazy, no joke. Awesome. I know, it's like, okay, what do you do with them when they're over? So I'm glad that you even said that. To close out, going back and giving yourself the space to reread the stuff that you wrote can be pretty freaking mind-blowing and really, really wise. So yeah, definitely go back and reread things. And even if it was just from a couple of weeks ago, because it could give you some new insights. You're a little further away from the situation. Maybe you've had more time to think about it, and it could give you some really powerful ideas and messages to move with. So yeah, go become friends with your journal. Have a great night, and I'll see you back here for another scope. See you later.